Hey guys, it's Pastor Bruce. Today we're in 1 Timothy, which is the first of 3 pastoral epistles written by the Apostle Paul. So called because these are letters he wrote to young pastors, Timothy and Titus. We first read about Timothy in Acts chapter 16, verses 1 through 3. He was from the city of Lystra, which would have been in south-central modern-day Turkey. Timothy's mother was Jewish and his father was Greek. Some scholars believe that Paul himself may have led Timothy to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ when Paul and Barnabas came through Lystra on their first missionary journey. This was the town where Paul was stoned and left for dead. Whatever the case, by the time that Paul and Silas returned to Lystra during the second missionary journey, Timothy had developed a good reputation among the Christians in that area. So much so that Paul decided to ask Timothy to join his group. He had Timothy circumcised so that he could go to both Jewish and Greek people. And over time, Timothy became one of Paul's inner circle. 1 Timothy was probably written after Paul's first Roman arrest, somewhere around 62 or 63 AD. It seems that Paul and Timothy were in Ephesus, and Paul needed to go to Macedonia, so he left Timothy there in Ephesus because the believers there were having some challenges, and Paul needed someone there whom he could trust. Timothy's main tasks were to counter false teaching, protect public worship, and to develop mature leadership. Here in chapter 1, the words law and genealogies lead us to believe that the false teaching there was being foisted by those called the Judaizers, the ones who said that the Gentiles had to become Jewish before they could become Christian. In talking about this, Paul repeats the theme of the law being a tutor to bring us to faith that he had written about in Galatians 3:24. This is the gist of verses 8 through 11. But as Paul lists all of these sins, they seem to remind him of his own sinful past, so that he writes in verses 15 and 16, "This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptance, that Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am chief. However, for this reason I obtained mercy, that in me first Jesus Christ might show all long-suffering as a pattern to those who are going to believe on him for everlasting life." Paul is saying that Jesus saves each one of us who are his followers so that we can display our changed lives as proof, one, of his great grace and mercy. God bless you as you go.